Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Gamertime Podcast. Welcome back. This is week 8 of NFL Locks, your prediction show of the week from the Gamertime Podcast. My name is Matt, and please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back the one and only Big Al Mocius. What's up, Big Al?
Hey, Matthew, how you doing? How you doing, folks? I know y'all miss my sexy voice, but
Sexy.
It's back, and I'm glad to be back. So here we go. We're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Woo! So, Matthew, before we start these football locks, just want to run something by you here. We got the Nationals and the Houston Astros are in the World Series, and as of yesterday, the Washington Nationals on the road took a 2-0 lead, going back home for 3 games. Do you see them closing this one out at home, either 2 out of 3, maybe even a sweep? I mean, where did this team come from? I mean, how good is either one of these teams?
Well, they say that the best thing to have in the postseason of baseball is good pitching. And they've got great pitching, to be honest. I mean, so do the Astros, but the Nationals have great pitching. They have also a 20-year-old on the club right now by the name of Juan Soto, who is just destroying people. I mean, he's on fire right now, and I think the team as a whole is on fire, is pretty on fire right now too. They swept their way through the NLCS and haven't lost yet. So they've won the last 7 at least. But you have to kind of like be happy for Zimmerman though. I mean, the guy got drafted by the Nationals when they were the expansion team. What was it, 14 or 15 years ago or something like that? And he stuck with the team the whole time, and now they're finally in the World Series. They finally won a playoff series, and now make it 2, and now they're in the World Series, and they've won 2 games now. So they were a bit of an underdog heading into it, but it's pretty good to see. I mean, locally, the Phillies and Nationals kind of have a little bit of a rivalry, but still, the Nationals, it's good to see an underdog kind of take over a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. And this is dating back to the Expo days where Washington Nationals were the Montreal Expos, and they still have not won a World Series. So, and Houston won a couple years ago. So, I really like to see them close it out at home in 2 or 3, Game 4, Game 5. Really hope that can happen. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, and I just, speaking of that, I just found out that former Yankees manager is now going to be the Phillies, Mr. Joe Girardi. So I just, for the Phillies' sake, I hope he brings something to the table and can get them back on winning ways.
Holy crap! I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just announced it this morning. I thought, a possible candidate was Kurt Schilling, but Phillies decided to go with Joe Girardi.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
So it's some excitement around Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Well, usually we do this the day before, but tonight is special, folks. We're going to give it to you right here Thursday night, starting Thursday Night Football. Washington Redskins come on the road down to the Minnesota Vikings. This seems like an easy one, don't you think?
I want to say yes. I mean, it is the NFL, so you never know, but I'm going to agree with you. I think they are currently, as of recording this, they are just tipping off now. It's 0-0, so we're not, trying to cheat you guys on our predictions or anything like that, but probably by the time you hear it, you'll probably know who won or who has a lead or whatnot. But Minnesota at home, I got to go with the home dog on that, or the the home favorite on that one. Washington's just not a good team at all. So.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I just think Minnesota's too explosive, and I'm still waiting for Washington to start their rookie Dwayne Haskins. I mean, what do they got to lose? I mean, this guy got drafted for a reason, so I would like to see him come in a little bit if possible.
Yeah.
So I think we're all on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Moving on to Sunday. To start some of the 1 o'clock games, we got the Seattle Seahawks going over to the Atlanta Falcons. Seahawks playing well, Falcons playing bad. What's going to happen here?
Well, like you said, the Falcons are playing pretty bad right now, and their defense is not good at all, and Matt Ryan has to play from behind for most of the game, so he's racking up a crap ton of yards. But there's a little bit of a health issue again. I know that derailed them a lot last year. The Seahawks are playing pretty well so far this year. I want to pick the Falcons. I do. Because I want them to try and turn it around. I want to see them, they're too stacked for them to be this bad. But it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So the Seahawks are a very smart-led team with the quarterback, with the coach, with the defense. So I think Seattle will win this game.
All right. I have to agree with you, Matty. In Russell Wilson, I trust right now, and Matty Ice, I don't even know if he's going to be playing in this game, actually. I think he got hurt, and I think someone else is replacing him, but either way, Falcons still have a good offense, but it's not going to be enough against Seattle, so I'll take Seattle.
Yeah.
The LA Chargers are going to go visit the Bears, and the Bears kind of disappointed me last week. What do you say they turn it around this week and get a home win against the Chargers? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I really like, I've said this for a couple of weeks in this show already, but I really like what Austin Eckler is doing for the Chargers. But it's kind of a one-man show as far as that goes. The defense is pretty good, and they have a good amount of turnovers, but the offense is just pretty much disappearing. Phillip Rivers is having a pretty off year, and Melvin Gordon had the holdout and came back and kind of disrupted things. And the Bears' defense is still pretty stacked. Let's not forget about that. They're still an incredible defense. They haven't played too well. Now the offense, their quarterback in Trubisky is not having the best year as well. So, this could be a pretty low-scoring game, I think. But I'm going to go with the Bears at home.
All right. Good pick. I don't know what happened to their defense against the Saints last week. I mean, I guess Teddy Bridgewater's the real deal or something, but that's neither here nor there. But like I said, I just think I had the Chargers a couple weeks in this season. They kind of let me down, so I'll take the Bears at home to save me.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got your Denver Broncos heading to the Indianapolis Colts. Two up and down teams right here. Big rivalries in the past with the quarterbacks. Where do you see this one going?
I actually really like what the Colts are doing so far this year. They played really well against the Texans, and Jacoby Brissett is filling in just perfectly with Andrew Luck retiring and stuff like that in the off season. But the Colts defense is much better than what their franchise is really known for. I think they've got a pretty good defense as well. Their offensive line is really good. I think that's why Jacoby Brissett is able to play well. The Broncos, my team. I mean, that performance against Kansas City last week had really just kind of like deflated me as far as any type of salvage for this season. I'm ready for Flacco to get benched. I'm ready for, they just traded Emmanuel Sanders, so it kind of feels like a fire sale right now. I don't think they're going to trade Von Miller. I think a lot of teams are calling and asking, but I don't think they're going to go that far. But I'm ready for, tank mode for the rest of the year. Get the rookie in, see what he can do, and if he doesn't have it, or if he's, just mediocre, then you focus on your first round pick being a good quarterback or something. So that's the future plans. But as far as this weekend, I really like the Colts at home.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, man. I know how well Indy can play, not just at home, but as we saw, they beat Kansas City on the road. Indy last year shut out Dallas 31-0, I believe, last year. And they have about the same team, so they definitely can do some work. And against the Broncos team, I mean, it's possible, like we said earlier, but I just don't see Devin pulling this one out on the road.
Yeah.
All right. Another up and down type of teams right now. Really don't know which way to go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had a big game against LA Rams, are battling the Titans in Tennessee. I don't know if Mariota's playing, might be someone else, but out of these decent teams, who gets the win?
This is a battle of the mediocre teams, in my opinion. I think that the Buccaneers have a much better offense, but I think the Titans have a much better defense. So I think there's one side of the ball there that might be a good matchup, but otherwise this isn't going to be, the greatest game to watch. This is probably going to be pretty boring. So I'm actually going to go with the home team. I think that the Titans, I don't think Mariota's starting. I think he's benched for Tannehill. So I think with Tannehill coming in, fresh new quarterback, I think the O-line and the rest of the team kind of rallied around that last week, and I think they got the win. But they're still not that great of a team, but neither is Tampa Bay. So I'm going with the Titans.
Okay. I tried to pick the Titans. I had actually the Titans win the division, and right now it's wildly up for grabs of if that could even happen. So. Oh boy. I hoping Tampa Bay has another game as they did against the LA Rams. I'm going to take the away team just barely.
Wow.
I know. I'm not loving it, but it's the Bucs and it's the Titans. I like the Titans defense, but Let me see Tampa Bay score some more points one more time for me.
Yeah.
So I'll take the away team. Now we got the Cardinals, who just came off a huge win against the Giants on the road. They're going to be walking into a bad storm in Louisiana, and his name is Drew Brees. Because Drew Brees is back, and he's ready to roll. Cardinals beat the Giants, but do they beat the Saints?
Wait a minute, Drew Brees is playing this weekend?
From a thing that I read 2 days ago, Drew Brees will return against the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow. Okay. What's your source?
Either ESPN or Yahoo, one of the two.
Oh, okay. All right. Trusted source. This is a team in the Cardinals that is just not ready to contend on pretty much anything, let alone the playoffs. They're not a division contender. none of that stuff, versus a Saints team that is got no goal other than winning the Super Bowl. So the Saints are at home, which makes it, that much worse for the Cardinals. The Saints are just clicking on all cylinders right now. This is a really, really good team. This is the Saints win by at least 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. There you have it, folks. Matthew says 2 touchdowns. Well, I have to agree with Matthew on that. But, I don't think they need Drew Brees back right now. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater just, why don't they let him just run the show and have Drew Brees the backup? I mean, either one of these quarterbacks can get it done right now. Heck, they have another one in the, I don't remember his name, but they have another one who can run and pass and do all that. So they got 3 wonderful quarterbacks right now. So I don't care if the Cowboys win, Saints win, easy pickings.
Wow. Okay.
Now we're gonna go to Cincinnati, where I don't know what to think about Cincinnati now, and they're going to the Rams, who look horrible 2 weeks, and they play great. I don't know. Maybe that new guy, Jalen Ramsey, just bolstered that team up. So, will the Bengals ever come out with a victory in this one, or Rams take it all the way?
This is the perfect bounce back game that the Rams need. A nice little cupcake game for them to pad stats, for them to feel better about themselves. This is going to be an easy win for the Rams. The Bengals are just a really, really bad team right now, and they couldn't win if they were playing against Tulane or something. This is a bad team. So I got the Rams easily.
Yeah, I have to agree, Matt. The Rams destroyed Atlanta last week in Atlanta, but we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons right now, my division winners, which is not looking good as well. But moving on from that, the Bengals, I just don't see it, man. I think the Rams are more talented than people think, and as you say, a bounce back game will do them pretty good. So give me the Rams too.
Yeah.
Now this one I did not know where to go. Do I pick with my heart or my head? So you make the call on this one. But the Philadelphia Eagles, who just got walloped in Dallas, go to the surprising 5-1 Bills. Do the Bills stay on the winning track and beat the Eagles at home?
So I said, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I said that I am having a hard time dealing with the way the Eagles season is coming and going so far this year, because there was a lot of confidence going into the year, and they haven't been playing up to that. It's a little disappointing because I kept picking them and they kept losing. So I am officially off of the Eagles bandwagon. I was never, it's not, bandwagon is a strong term. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm just saying, as far as my picks go, I'm gonna have to wait and see until they need to prove something to me right now, and they're not doing that. So they're going up against a really good Bills team who is showing how they can really rally around each other, play good defense, and just score enough to, get a decisive win. They have this game is in Buffalo, so there's another bit of an edge. So I'm going to take Buffalo. I don't think that the Eagles are playing pretty bad right now. That now there's criticism in the locker room. So I think the Bills are the complete opposite of what the Eagles are going through right now. So I got Buffalo.
All right, Matt. Like I said, my heart tells me one thing, my head tells me another. My heart is to go with the Bills because, let's just face it, I don't like the Eagles. But my head tells me maybe that Dallas game was their wake-up call.
True.
Our wake-up call, the Cowboys' wake-up call was when they lost to the Jets. Yes, the Jets. I think you mentioned about them trying to prove something. They're still slim on defense, and I'm just waiting for their offense to explode. But that hasn't happened too much recently. So heart, head, give me a bounce back game. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, cool.
Like I said, I hope I'm wrong just for my own sake, but in this, I'll pick the Eagles.
Yeah.
So we move on to another NFC East team. By the way, the Cowboys are on a bye this week, so the last NFC East team to play this week is the New York Giants going into Detroit, where the Lions kind of disappointed me last week against Minnesota. They came close, but they didn't win. Where are you going, Giants, Lions?
People are saying that the Lions are playing really well. Their record hasn't really shown it because they've kind of been, a couple of games they've lost have been, only by a couple of points, and they've hung in there against good teams. They have a good win against the Eagles, stuff like that. But I'm not sold on them. I don't think that the Lions are all that great. I think that they have a mediocre offense and a probably even below average defense. So I don't think that they're built to beat the good teams. I think that they can hang for a little bit, but in the end they just don't have enough. The Giants aren't all that much better, but I just think that they're playing for more right now. I think that the Giants are playing to rally around their young quarterback. They're looking to get Saquon another great year. They're trying to prove people wrong. So I'm actually going to go with the Giants here.
Yeah, I was thinking because how the Lions played against the Packers really showed me something. And honestly, I think we all agree they should have won that game.
Right.
But then they turn around and lose to Minnesota at home. I mean, obviously Minnesota's good, but
right.
I said in the beginning that the Giants, the first game back for Saquon Barkley, I'm taking the Giants no matter who they play, and the Giants lost.
Right.
To the Cardinals. Well, I'll give them one more chance. They're on the road, but I like Barkley and the boys on the road.
Okay.
Now we got the New York Jets, who apparently their quarterback sees ghosts. It's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be seeing a lot of defensive ghosts in Jacksonville, and that might not be pretty. He had a good game against Dallas, but he just imploded against almost every other team. Where are you going with Minshew and the Jags or the Jets?
So, Sam Darnold came to the sideline and said that he's seeing ghosts out there. He's going to start seeing some weird things this weekend because he's going into Minshew mania, which is weird in itself. So I think that the Jets aren't playing too well right now, and I think that Darnold's going to have a hard time coming back from kind of that beatdown. It's going to take a few weeks. I don't think he's going to bounce back all that quickly, so I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Okay, yeah, I'm still trusting in Minshew here, and the Jaguars still have a pretty legitimate defense. I can't really say a whole lot. It's just, like I said, they had a great game against Dallas, but that might be their Super Bowl right there, beating the Dallas Cowboys. But so yeah, I definitely like the Jaguars at home.
Okay.
Here's gonna be a great matchup. I don't know which way to go. you got the Carolina Panthers, who they keep battling, and it almost seemed like they started out slow. Now they're lightening up, getting pretty good. They're going to the San Francisco 49ers in the Bay Area, who, to me, the 49ers, they're good, but are they like New England good? That'd be a tough one. Who do you like, Carolina or Frisco?
So it's funny because Carolina is playing much better than they did in the beginning of the year, and it seems to be it's all because of the quarterback change. Now Cam Newton is much better than Kyle Allen, but it seems like the chemistry with Kyle Allen in a quarterback is just better. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly why, but the Panthers are playing much better with him. So the 49ers come off of a really ugly win. What was the final? Like 9-0 or something like that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, 9-0. It was in a torrential downpour.
Yeah, rain everywhere, and I'm sure they love that situation because, the 49ers have an incredible defense. I think they've got the best defense in the NFL right now. But I think that, they kind of showcased a little bit of weakness, though, in the offense. I think that Garoppolo is really kind of just holding the ship steady. He's not really doing all that much. And I think he's going to really struggle against Carolina's defense because Carolina also has a great defense. I think Christian McCaffrey is a stud, and he's probably going to put up another great game even against the 49ers defense. So I think that is actually what is going to be the factor. And I actually have the 49ers losing their first game. I think the Panthers win.
Matthew, I see we might have got disconnected there. Did you just say the Carolina Panthers are going to win?
Yes,
this
sir.
week?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
But let me clarify something else to you. Yes, I agree. It's all about McCaffrey, and he's going to have a great game, and all this and that. Boo-hoo, yah, let's go. Well, let me tell you something. The 49ers, with that defensive front, the defensive front led by Mr. Bosa, and the fact that, I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about their offense, but it's led by that defense. Defense wins championships. They're on a roll. I'm sticking with the hot hand, not 49ers. Now, like I said, tough one though. No easy win, but tough one. They win a close one.
Yeah.
Now we got the Oakland Raiders going down to Texas to battle the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson, Josh Jacobs. What offense battles more here?
The Texans have the better offense. It's not even close. The Raiders are playing well on offense, but the Texans are their weapons are much, much better. And I think Deshaun Watson is playing at a really high level. That's going to be my deciding factor. I think the Raiders are playing solid right now, but the Texans being at home and the Texans offense being as good as it is, the Raiders defense is average to above average, but they're not going to be able to contain Houston. I'm going to go with Houston.
Okay. Oakland put up a fight last week against the Packers, but in the end, it was just all Packers.
Yeah.
That defense gave up 6 touchdowns to Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
But I think that trend sticks. Jacobs, I think it determines if Houston can slow down Jacobs. If they do that, he might have a good game. But I don't think they're going to slow down Houston's offense. I'll take the Texans.
All right.
Now we got the Cleveland Brownies going it's north. I don't know my geography too well. But up north to New England in Foxborough. Patriots coming off a Monday night blowout against the Jets, and that defense is just wrecking havoc. Thank you. Praise the fantasy football gods of the New England Patriots. But even though they cost me this week. Anyway, Browns, Cleveland, OBJ, battling Tom Brady. Will this be a shutout for New England?
Upset alert, upset alert. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cleveland Browns will go into Foxborough and beat the New England Patriots. Yes, I said it. Tom Brady is going to walk to the sidelines and say he is seeing ghosts of Myles Garrett because he will not be able to get away from him. The Cleveland Browns will win by 3 points over the New England Patriots, and there will be 0 undefeated teams left in the National Football League. The 1973 Miami Dolphins will once again get together and clink glasses as they will celebrate being the only undefeated team in NFL history to win the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, Browns over Patriots.
Okay. Let me just give you every explanation why you're wrong. Okay, first of all, I told you a couple weeks ago to lay off the weed. That's point number one. Number two, do you understand how well the New England Patriots defense is playing? New England doesn't even play much offense, and their defense will win it for them.
Big out. You're crazy. You're nuts. Do you know what quarterback plays for the Cleveland Browns?
I don't know.
Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Do you know what quarterback plays for the New England Patriots?
No. I guess arguably one of the best of all time.
Timothy Brady. Yeah, some bum from Michigan. Yeah, screw him. Browns are beating the Patriots by 3. It's not even going to be close, even though it's by 3. Browns over Patriots.
Okay, just real quick on point number 3 of why you're wrong. Do you remember what happened the last time you picked the Browns to win an upset game? I remember week 1, somebody said that they're gonna this Sunday night football, they're gonna beat the LA Rams. Guess what? It didn't happen, and neither is this. Thank you. Moving on to Sunday night football. Where the Green Bay Packers will go on the road in a hostile environment to play the Mahomes-less Kansas City Chiefs. Where does that one go? Rodgers and Moore. Go.
Yeah, this is Rodgers and Moore. Go. So this could have been a game of the year if Mahomes didn't go down last week to the Broncos, but turns out it's a minor injury, and he will bounce back in a couple of weeks and probably lead the Chiefs to the playoffs. So, but in the meantime, without Mahomes, this Chiefs team is very mediocre. Matt Moore, he was a gym teacher 2 months ago? Like
Yeah.
He's not the guy to get this done, and Rodgers coming off of 5 touchdowns last week. So Packers are going to win this by at least 10 points.
Okay, I gotta agree with you, and I think it's part of the factor that Mahomes is going to be in. I think the Packers defense will step up this week and play a lot better, and then obviously Kansas City's defense. They can play well at home, but just I gotta give it to Rodgers right now. They're just on fire.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll leave us with the last game of the week, and that is Monday Night Football on ESPN. The Miami Dolphins going to the Steel City in Pittsburgh, battling the Steelers. Who grains the steel in this one?
Great. Jesus. All right, so I said earlier that the Rams against the Bengals were going to be the perfect game for the Rams to have like a bounce back week and kind of get back on track and, get their season moving in the right direction. This is going to be a similar thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at home against the pretty much worst team in football. The Dolphins have zero chance at this game. The Steelers, even with their backup, third string, eighth string quarterback, whoever it is, they're going to come in and beat the Dolphins pretty handily. So I've got the Steelers 28-7.
28-7. I had more of a. I'm going to agree with you, Matt, but let me just say something. I'm going to go 31-13.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm old, I forget things. The Miami Dolphins are the only undefeated team in the NFL history, correct?
1973, yep.
1973, okay. You see, as much as we can bash on the Miami Dolphins for being a horrible team this year, I don't know why we should bust on them that much just because of this year. Hey, let them come back. Hey, they're the only organization, I guess, that went 16-0. I mean,
right, I know what you mean.
You can't argue with that. So right now, yes, it's not looking good, but come on, they're still. You got to give that organization credit. They're still the only undefeated team in NFL history, so Let's not bash on them too much.
Well, I think every franchise has its worst season and they have their best seasons. You know what I mean? Like every franchise has been up and been down. So your Dallas Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls, but the one year they went 2-14. They every team has their, like I said, their worst overall records, and every team has some of their brightest moments. That's just how it goes. But obviously for the Dolphins right now, it's not their brightest moment. Hopefully someday they'll get back on track, and maybe we'll be talking about how the Browns or the Dolphins are dominating the AFC East instead of the Patriots. So you never know what it's going to be like in 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. So if they get Tua and Tua turns out to be an incredible NFL quarterback, then there you go. So we'll see. But as of right now, you got to suck to get good, I guess.
Right. It's like you said. We'll see what happens, but just want to bring that point out there and see what you thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Big Al, that wraps up our Week 8 locks of the NFL. I just wanted to quickly here before we shut it down to just bring up the NBA basketball season has just tipped off. Tuesday night was the first night of games. It was just 2 games, but it was the showdown in LA with the Clippers and Lakers, with the Clippers coming out victorious for the first round. They've got plenty more battles to come. And the next night featured everybody else's games with highlights of, the Sixers got a solid win against the Celtics, and Kyrie Irving's debut with the Brooklyn Nets was insane, putting up a 50-burger. But they ended up still losing in overtime to the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves with Karl Anthony Towns putting up I believe it was 32 and 13 or something like that. So he's an incredible talent in the league. So how do you feel about the season kicking off? You pumped to see what the Sixers are going to do?
I am. Like you mentioned, it was a great solid win for them to come out on fire, and I believe that Embiid has something to prove after the playoff loss last year. that they're going to be right back in that hunt, in that factor. I originally did pick Boston to come out of the East this year. Until I see otherwise, I'll stick with it. But I am definitely excited to watch some Sixers basketball and what Embiid and Simmons and them boys can do throughout the season. And I do believe Embiid will be the leader in blocks this year.
Leader in blocks, okay.
It's not a far-fetched prediction, so we can't wait. I'm excited to analyze with you and throughout the year and see where things go. But yeah, right now I'm excited to watch some basketball and see what teams, maybe some surprise teams out of the West. Like, hey, you got to give it to the Pelicans without Zion. Like they lost in overtime to Toronto, but so I think that's a step forward for them, and I still think they're going to be at least the eighth seed and make the playoffs as I predicted. Thank you very much.
Okay, over under 2.5 3-pointers for Ben Simmons.
You mean tonight?
No, the whole season.
Oh shoot! Wowzers.
I think he's going to be pressured so hard by fans to at least attempt a lot more threes this year, and I think eventually he's going to hit one or so. So I think that a nice little over/under is whether or not he can go to 3 or more, or if he's just going to miss as much as he takes and go just make 1 or 2, or what do you think? 2.5 threes for the year?
For the year? Boy, you're crazy. It's going to be over 3.
You think so?
Maybe give me a possible 10 spot.
Whoa!
I don't know. Yes, I heard it a 10 spot. But I think it's definitely going to be over 3. Whether he makes the shots or not, we only know. But if he's working on that shot, then I think he's got some surprises for people. So I'm going to go over 3.
Yeah, it's an exciting season awaits. The duos are just underway. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the bright young rookie because of his leg injury, but he, they say he's somewhere around Christmas time for his debut, Zion Williamson. But it'll be exciting to see what he can bring to the league. So, but yeah. So what's other than the Sixers? What's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to in NBA?
Well, I think just who's going to compete with some of those teams in the West. And I'll even give you the Brooklyn Nets with when KD comes back. I think that's going to be a bright show. And I know Klay Thompson's still out for Golden State, but just who's going to compete? We got additions to each team. A pair of duos. You got Westbrook and Harden in Houston. Just who's going to compete. I think all year it's going to be fun to watch. Teams could battle back and forth, but just looking forward to the Brooklyn, what they can do with KD and them, and then just who's going to battle in the West.
Yeah, it should be a very, very exciting season. So, all right, my people, thank you for listening. This is the Gamertime Shows podcast on YouTube. If you've got any questions, or you can find us, you can complain, you can cry, you can shout, you can do whatever you want. We have a Twitter account. It's the Gamertime Shows on Twitter. You can email me, gamertimeshows@gmail.com, for any show ideas, for any questions, for a mailbag, any advertisements you want to use, anything like that. But I appreciate you for listening. This has been Week 8 NFL locks and a little bit extra with the World Series and the NBA season. So for me, I thank you for listening. And for Big Al?
Yeah, folks, thank you very much. Again, glad to be back on live with Matthew Kelly. We are the Gamertime Podcast, your best podcast for Sports Nation. Just keep following us, and we want you to spread the word even more. We want as many viewers as possible for the best podcast in all of sports. Thank you for staying with us, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right. Peace.
Later.